Hi everyone! Yes, I have new hair. So yeah, I changed my hair. I don't know how you see them on your screen, but they're supposed to be like white grayish, but with like what I see on my screen, they're not exactly like that. So yeah, I did it. I'm not sure if it's a good idea. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it right now. Today I like it, yesterday I was crying because of it. So now that I talk about the elephant in the room, let's get to the subject of the day, because today I will be showing you the different books I plan on reading in March. So this month it's my birthday month, and it has nothing to do with the books, but I just like to say that it's my birthday month. And I plan on reading 7 books, and I just realized that I will never be able to read those 7 books, but still I'm going to try, but I know I will never do it. So let me show you the different books I plan on reading this month. So first we have Ein of Green Gable, and if you've been with me in February, you know that I was planning to read that in February. Actually we're still in February, we have like 3 days left. I started it, I read like 10 pages, and I know that I will never be able to read this in 3 days, so I'm going to put it on my March TBR to like continue it, even though we can't say I started it because I've just read 10 pages and it's nothing. So I will be reading this in March. I'm super excited because the second book in this edition just came out, and I hope I will get it for my birthday. Yeah, so I'm excited to read this. If you don't know what is Ein of Green Gable, it is a very famous child classic book. It was also adapted on Netflix with the name N with an E. If you don't know what to do, just go watch this TV series. It's really good, really amazing. I loved it, and that's why I want to read the books. Next this month I also want to read The Witch Doesn't Burn in This One by Amanda Lovelace. So this is the second book in the Women Are Some Kind of Magic trilogy, like collection of poems. I've never read this one. I just bought it this fall, and I'm really excited to read it because I love the first one, which was the princess doesn't the princess sells those selves. In this one, I don't know what this one is about, but I like the color scheme, and I don't know, I love the fact that it's about a witch, so I think maybe it's going to be a little more about like fighting for who you are, what you want. I don't know, I'm just guessing stuff right now. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this. Then I also need to read The Camelot Betrayal, which is the second book in the Camelot Rising trilogy by Kirston White. The first one was The Guinevere's Deception, which I loved, and I was really excited to read the second book, but every time I put it on my TBR, I never read it because I had put all the books with them that were too long or took me too much time to read, so I never got the chance to actually start it. I think I'm going to start my March month with this book, so I'm sure I'm going to read it. If you don't know what this trilogy is about, basically you're following Guinevere. Okay, this is an Arthurian legend, like it's a retelling of King Arthur and the Round Table, but here you're following the main character Guinevere, but actually it's not the real Guinevere, it's a changeling. Not a changeling, I don't know how to call this, but it's some sort of fairy. She has the power to take like the shape of anyone, anything. And so Guinevere died, and she took the appearance of Guinevere in order to protect Arthur, because it's a mission. Actually, she's the daughter of Merlin, and Merlin asked her to protect Arthur. And there's a lot of things happening, things with like the Arthurian legend. You found all the characters from the Arthurian legend. I loved it. It's a bit like things were mixed and changed, and I loved it so much. The first one was amazing, and I have high hopes for this one, so I hope I will love it. Next, I'm going to read or try to read a book that was recommended to me by my best friend, and it's These Violin Delights by Chloe Gong. This is Romeo and Juliet retelling, and basically it's the only thing she told me about it, and I said, okay, give it to me, I want to read it. because if you don't know, I'm a huge fan of Romeo and Juliet, so I'm trying to read everything about Shakespeare and Romeo and Juliet. So I had to read this, and then I actually read the synopsis, and it sounds amazing. So the story is set in 1926 in Shanghai. Yeah, in Shanghai. And you have those two rivals family. You have the Scarlet gang, which are actually the Capulet, and in this one you're following Juliet Kai, and the other gang is the White Flowers with Roma Montagov, Romeo basically. And so there are two gangs and they're fighting, and just like in Romeo and Juliet, but in this one there is like some sort of disease. You don't really know what's happening, like they're talking about of a contagion and madness of a monster in the shadow. So I think people are dying, they don't really know what it is, and so Juliet and Roma are going to pair up in order to find what's actually happening, and they're going to fight together, and we know they're going to fall in love because it's Romeo and Juliet. I just hope they don't die at the end. I'm tired of seeing Romeo and Juliet dying at the end of books, so I hope they stay alive. I don't know if this is a standalone or a series. I actually have no clue about this. But the book is pretty, and it's a Romeo and Juliet retelling, so I'm here for it. Next, I can't believe I'm already reading this, because I'm going to be reading the last book in the Arc of Scythe trilogy, which is The Toll by Neil Shusterman. I'm so happy to finally be reading the last book in this trilogy. I've read Thunderhead, the second book, in February. I loved it. It was amazing. That ending was... mind-blowing, but I will talk more about this in my wrap-up that will coming soon on the channel. So here we are in it's the conclusion of a trilogy. I'm super excited to see where things are going to go, because as I just told you, that ending, like for the second book, was wonderful. So many things to solve, like they're in a deep I was going to say shit, but like they're in deep mess, like everything is crazy, it's chaos, so I'm really excited to see what will happen. It's a pretty massive book, so I'm not sure I will be able to complete this book this month, because it has something to do with the next book I'm going to talk about, because I'm sure you all know, if you're a fan of Cassandra Clare, that on the 2nd of March, Chain of Iron is coming out, and I don't know how many pages there are in this book, but I'm sure it's like around 500, 600. Toll is also 600 pages long, and let's be honest, I'm not going to be able to read two 600 long books in a month. Like, I have other books to read, so my plan is to try to complete The Toll in March and to start at some point Chain of Iron. For me, Chain of Iron, I'm going to be reading it in March and in April, because I will never be able to read it in 1 month, because I want to read other stuff. So Chain of Iron is on my TBR for this month, but we all know I will never read it this month. But it's still here because it's coming out and I want to read it. And the last book for March is actually my audiobook of the month, and honestly I can't tell you what I will be reading, because I want to wait to see what Scrib is going to put for March, like, because there are a lot of books that I'm waiting for in March, so hopefully one of them will be put as an audiobook on the website. But I could also be reading It's a Faux Love Story, I don't know if it's the name, but this book, or also The Project by Courtney Sommer, or so many other things. So I will let you know at the end of the month what I will be reading, or in a video once I figure out what I will be reading, if you're interested. But yeah, I will be reading an audiobook, I just don't know which one yet. So yeah, everyone, that's it for today. I hope you had a great time, because I had a great time filming this. Don't forget to like this video if you did, and also to subscribe to my channel. Also, tell me in the comments down below what you plan on reading in March, or if you have already read any of the books I've mentioned, or anything. Like, you can tell me anything, just don't be mean. And I'm going to stop talking now, and I will see you next time. Bye!